Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Lala Perez. Thank you for joining me. This video is going to be on how to deal with negative people, and all of us have encountered someone who's maybe not the most positive, right? So they're negative. And I think there's like two types of negative people that come in. One that purposefully wants to, like make you also feel bad, right? And then there's the other type of person who doesn't know that what they're doing and how they're feeling is getting put on to another person, right? So let's say that person who is not having the best day, but they're not trying to make other people have a bad day. Sometimes they end up making that happen, right? So like sometimes there's someone who like comes up to you and like they're in a big worry where they feel so rushed, right? Like something happened and you don't even know what happened yet, but they're like, oh my gosh, and they're like very dramatic, and you're just there having a normal day until they come up and they like act like that. You're just like, and then you start to feel like that too, right? And then there's the other type of people who maybe don't have the best day, and then since they're not having a good day, they want to make other people also feel bad, right? They're like, so and so, this happened, life sucks, and then they start like maybe asking you about your life, alluding to like things to make you feel bad. But there are certain ways to deal with someone who is maybe negative so that then after you don't feel as bad too. So first I would say is to realize like, okay, they're going through something, but those are their own problems. Like them having a bad day, okay, them being negative. If you want, yes, you can like try to support them and help them, but you don't always have to. Just because someone is, not having their best day or they're not in the best mood, doesn't mean it's your role to try to like be there for them or make them feel better or be there to listen, because sometimes that's really on them, and it's your choice or not if you're going to give them your energy, right? It's like, yes, if someone is having a really bad day and you feel for them, be there for them, listen to them, like try to help them out. But if you know that they're continuously doing this to you and they're like using you in a way to make, like every time something bad happens, they come to you because they know that like you'll be the person who's there to listen, or yeah, like you don't always have to be that person. Maybe you don't always have to be that nice. It really depends on what you want, because maybe they will try to use you in a way, try to use you so that they can feel better or they can take a little bit of stress off themselves and like put it onto someone else. Maybe they know they're doing that and maybe they don't. I also wanted to say that if there's a negative person and you know that they're maybe going through a lot, like let's say you're at work and someone is like having a very stressful day, maybe sometimes someone just needs someone to listen to their whatever they're going through, right? So if you genuinely want to, like you don't always have to, you can always politely excuse yourself, like, oh, I'm sorry, but I cannot listen to this right now, or in a more polite way, right? But if you do want to be there to listen to them, right, sometimes that's all what people need. And sometimes it's a lot of effort for you to do that, but if you genuinely want to do that, do that. And then if they're always saying something negative into a response that you're saying to something positive, be firm with what you think is positive. Or if you think that maybe the negativity that they're pointing out isn't like legitimate enough, let them know. Like be straightforward with them, because like sometimes being honest is better than just being nice and positive and letting them like think that what they're worrying about is something worth worrying about. Sometimes someone just needs to hear from someone that, like, to hear from a different perspective, that what they're going through, what you think of it, you genuinely think, and like be positive about it, because positivity will knock out the negativity. Boundaries. I also wanted to say this because this is something that's quite huge that I learned this year, because before I was always a person who people would tell their problems to, and I ended up feeling negative because they would feel negative. And I had to learn to set boundaries for myself, right? To like set a time for just me, or if someone was coming that wanted to tell me something negative about what was going on with them, sometimes I just have to politely like tell them like I can't do this right now, or tell them straightforward that they are very negative and how they feel gets put on to me. Be straightforward and then set your boundaries of like that you don't want to do this anymore, right? And if that doesn't help, maybe just even distance yourself, right? Because you don't always have to take in what other people are feeling, or to like be there for someone who always isn't feeling the best, and they maybe aren't listening to like what you genuinely have to say, your words of advice, your like positivity. Maybe you're there to make them feel better a lot of the time, but they don't see that. So they keep being negative. Set your boundaries and do what's good for you. Also, if someone is being quite negative, I think you should always respond in a calm way, like to whatever they're saying, right? Even though they're like extra worried and anxious or like angry, like them, maybe they want to also make you feel that way, or maybe they're just trying to get a response to make their situation feel better. But if you respond calmly and you remain, level-headed, honestly, even just doing that might make them calm down too. They can see you reacting to it, you listening to it and being like, look, it's okay, it's not that serious, or just giving them words of advice but calmly, right? To not like react as they are reacting. And I also feel like when someone's reacting or like being very negative, you kind of have to be firm in what you're saying. Like maybe they're worried about something and you're telling them, look, it's not that serious. For this and this reason, you need to calm down. And they're like, oh, but how can I calm down? Like, it's so much easier said than done. And you just kind of have to like remain calm and be like, look, this is like, if you're asking me for something, this is what I'm gonna say. But yeah, to remain calm, to be firm in what you're saying, not to be like very strict and like make them feel bad for feeling that way, but to be like set in your words. And even if someone is like being kind of negative, don't like blame them for making you feel that way. Like maybe it's a little bit of their fault, but you don't always have to blame someone for a situation that's happening. And even when someone is being very negative and they're coming to you with lots of blames for things, right? Because a lot of people like to like not see the situation from an outside view on like how they acted to something or what they could have done, right? They're like, oh, they more think about what other people did wrong, and they blame them for how they feel. And that's not always the case. Like sometimes you're the one who is the one making yourself feel bad. Maybe you're the person to blame. Maybe not you, them, right? The person who's very negative. Maybe they don't realize they're the one who's causing themselves their own negativity in their life, and they're blaming other people. So maybe depending on the situation, encourage them to look at it from a different point of view, and to not always blame another person for how they feel. And if this negative person makes you also feel bad, don't blame them, right, for ruining your day, because it's you who decides whether you're gonna like take that in or not, right? I hope this video is helpful for any of you who have to deal with negative people, maybe constantly or not so constantly. I've been having to deal with negativity quite often, so I've had to remain calm and positive and focus on myself and what I'm doing and just relax, right? So yes, I'm crocheting a bag. This video is probably up on my channel right now. It's a crochet shoulder bag, but okay, off topic. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful for any of you guys. If you have any stories or could relate to what I say, please let me know in the comments. We can have a little conversation. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.